Greetings, friends. Steven here, and welcome back to another toy haul. What is going on with all these toy hauls? Now, this is not just toys, though. There's also some video game content here, so don't get too excited. Or get excited. I don't even know what this channel is anymore. Our backdrop items today are some of what I'm going to show off. Some of it I just didn't back when I wasn't in the mood for pickups videos. But obviously, as you can tell, if you've been subscribed to the channel lately, you know that I've been uploading pickup stuff lately. Like I said in the last video, you know, they're easy to put together. They're generally fun to look this stuff over. So let's get going. First one doesn't technically count, but this is something I picked up not too long ago. Once again, something I grabbed just before I started wanting to do these pickup videos again. This is, I guess it's like an army vehicle. It's like construction, but army. I don't know if you can see it, but it rolls really nice. This is definitely a vintage product. Here, listen to that. That's hot. Let me see if I can get some stats for you. Upside down. Okay. There we go. Matchbox Super Kings Hercules Mobile Crane. Up here, 1974 Lesney Products. This is a quality toy. I know you can see, but it's pretty much all die-cast metal. It's got some windows there. Crane bit does lift up and will roll around. Very cool. It's got the little hydraulic bits here. This was a thrift find, and it really wasn't very expensive at all, but super cool. I know there are people that I see at local shops that are specifically looking for things like this. Normally that's their territory. I don't usually dabble that much in old diecast stuff, but this, I couldn't leave that. It was super cool. Alright. So yeah, like I said, this is somewhat toy, somewhat game. We do have some vintage retro games and baggies here we'll take a look at. I guess we can move this out of the way. And there's a bunch of stuff, new toys, some stuff on sale. So we're just gonna, we'll just go along as we go along. So this, if you've been following me on Twitter, you'll know that I've been dabbling. Hello, I'm behind the camera. I've been dabbling in emulation stuff lately, and I know back in the day, if you were to talk about emulation, you'd mostly think of just like PC, you know, software download ROMs and all that. But nowadays, you can get proper like devices, like handheld portable things that you can run all these ROMs off of, and it's pretty neat. And I've got a couple here. This one was only 30 bucks. That's Canadian. D-pad's not the best, but what I like about this, unlike this one, which we'll get to in a moment, is that this, all you really do is just get a USB cord from the device to your PC, and it's just drag and drop. It's just like, hey, you got ROMs? Put the ROMs on this device and then play the ROMs. It's pretty neat. It doesn't do... It runs old arcade games pretty well. It does like 8-bit really well. 16-bit is hit or miss. Like, it's not very powerful at all. So I was watching a review on this thing not too long ago from a guy who normally does reviews of, like, you know, gaming hardware and stuff. But his review for this was kind of a letdown because it's more of like a, you know, like a fail video where it's like they're not really doing a real review. They're just making fun of the thing. But for 30 bucks, this thing, you know, it does a lot more than you might think. Neat device. I picked it up from... Actually, I got that from AliExpress again. I like that site. It's a ghetto website, but there is some neat stuff there. Including this guy right here. This is the Steel Pests team. Does he have a name? Specific name? Steelbug. SPT01. And it's a third-party transforming robot. He's like this little weird gremlin dude. And I might even do a review on this. But what's neat about this guy, aside from just the fun expression on his face, is like normally these third-party robots are mostly just like transformers based on the original G180s designs. But this is a completely unique design. It's got a little extra gun there. And he'll always have styrofoam on him because he ships in a tomb of styrofoam. That was a pipe in the wall if you could hear that. But what's neat about this guy is when he transforms, he ends up looking like the tank from Metal Slug, which is pretty funny. I haven't actually transformed into this part yet, but I thought it'd be It'd be better to show them off in the robot form. But yeah, it's a neat figure. Got it from those guys. Gotta love the English. It is not easy to meet each other in such a big world. So clearly, as you can see, like the seller here, they mostly dabbled in, once again, like AliExpress. Mostly dabbles in like the Transformers toys, third party or KOs or whatever. But like this guy, as far as I know, is a completely original design. Aside from, of course, transforming into the metal slug tank, it's a pretty neat thing. In the game, the Metal Slug games, they never actually, the tanks, as far as I know, never transformed into little gremlin dudes. And here's my other portable emulation thing. What I don't like about this is actually a few things. First of all, it's very easy to corrupt the SD cards. I might even do a review on this thing, because I've seen reviews on this thing and they're all, I don't know, reviews online are tricky. There are people that can say things, but are you really saying what you need to say to actually make it a review? Like you can go over it. You can do an overview of a product, but are you really reviewing it? I found like I did find a lot of information about this thing online, but a lot of the information I would have liked to have known, no one had mentioned. So one of those things being that, unlike the $30 one, this $100 thing, which does run games pretty well, doesn't let you do the drag and drop. This requires like Linux-based software, and you can download certain software programs that you can use on your computer, but there's a lot of extra steps just to get stuff on here, and I don't like that. I mean, it's just a personal preference. I'm sure the computer kids out there all know all their favorite Linux programs and whatnot, but if you're just a regular guy that wants to just drag and drop, that's where this one comes in handy. Also, as I mentioned, I corrupted my this SD card. You don't want to corrupt that because that has basically all the software for the device, so it wouldn't turn on. And I had to actually, there's a secondary, supposedly better replacement operating system that I have on there now, and it was a bit of it's a procedure. You have to go online and look at YouTube videos to figure out exactly how to update all of that, but the new one, like, it doesn't have a TurboGrafx 16 emulator, but the original one did, and I want to get TurboGrafx games on here, but, one step at a time. Right now, it's mostly got, like, I think it was, like, Super Nintendo. Actually, you know what? Here. I know, there's people, if people actually watch these things, you're wondering, well, I want to see it in action. See, there's that Rogue Edition. This is the new operating system, because I corrupted the old one. I didn't mean to, but you can see it runs all these different emulation things. And obviously you can see it's got all the buttons and all that stuff already. So for example, I've got a bunch of ROMs here for Game Boy Advance. And it runs them all pretty well. This is one of those sort of situations where I just wanted to spend money online, and this is one of the things I found. So you can see it emulates all these different consoles, like you got your Genesis, and I think it can even do some PS1, like it does have the 4 shoulder buttons and one of the analog sticks. But anyways, if I go into greater detail, let me know in the comments if you want to hear my thoughts on this in a video purely about the Pocket Go or the, what is this thing called? X7. Let me know. Otherwise, we will move on. So those aren't even fresh pickups. Let's want to go new or used. Let's do new stuff first. EB Games on Fridays. That's of course Canadian GameStop likes to do $5 Fridays, where they'll just find a bunch of old junk lying around the store and put it up for $5, which is the price. Honestly, they should mostly be $5 from the get-go, but normally the stuff on their $5 Fridays is garbage, but this recent, maybe it was just over a week ago now, they had a bunch of toys, and as we know, Steven likes his toys, so a lot of these are all new and all $5 each. So we got a King Louie from the Tailspin cartoon, original price, a lot more, but for $5, pretty good. I do love me some Jungle Book. Anyone that follows me on Twitter knows I'm even using a Baloo image for my current avatar. So, Jungle Book, man, good movie, good music. Along with that, we have a Mega Man Thunderbeam action figure, $5. Problem with this is that this wave 1 of figures, they just did Mega Man 3 times. Why? Like, do one Mega Man per wave. And then, like, if it was just Mega Man, Dr. Wily, and then maybe 2 more Robot Masters, that would have made a lot more sense. I don't think these sold particularly well. See, like, this is Mega Man with one of the, Robot Master weapons, I guess, the Thunder Beam equipped. But just as far as being Mega Man, it's just, you want the blue Mega Man. Maybe the green ones are, but this one, kind of ugly. But, I guess that's why he's $5 instead of $16.19. Next up, $5 again. It's a Totaku. These are the not amiibo figures. This is a Space Invader from Space Invaders. So these do even less than amiibo. Amiibo barely do anything if you use them with games, but this has no NFC chip in it. It's just a little collectible figure. You can see they updated the boxes to make them more like Funko boxes. You can stack them easily because they know most of us don't even bother to open these things. And last of the $5 Friday deals, I got like 2 of these at one store and then 2 of these at a different store. So each store had different stock. In the last episode, we were talking about G.I. Joe, and this Fortnite dude looks an awful lot like a G.I. Joe figure. It's even about the same size, and coming up, we actually have some vintage G.I. Joe figures in baggies, so we'll definitely take a look at that in a moment. And I'm keen to put them, side by side, but I thought this guy, like, I'm not a Fortnite guy, but this, the figure itself looks an awful lot like a G.I. Joe character, so I thought, yeah, for $5, sure. What do we got? Now, this was not on sale, but it was pretty neat. I'm debating whether or not I actually want to keep this, because I'm honestly not the biggest Predator fan. I do prefer the Alien to Predator. This is a Mega Construx Black Series Predator, which of course is the Predator itself. It's a very, very tiny figure, which actually, like this alone, would have been $6 or $5.50 or so with the Edge discount card. But like you can see, like, he's tiny. It's basically like a Lego man. So they do have, they do come with some weapons, and articulation and the paint looks decent. But I mean, do you really need it? Quick edit there. I just moved the stuff around, moved the camera back just a bit. So yeah, I also found out on someone else's Twitter that they found Dutch as well, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from the original Predator movie. So maybe I want that, but maybe I might not. I might just return this because it is very small. At the same time, though, I do kind of. I've got a couple like Ninja Turtle, these Mega Construct figures. They're neat. They're small. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll keep it, maybe I won't. Next up, I was at Walmart, and it actually had a bunch of neat toys. Unfortunately, Transformers Earthrise figures are still very tricky to find because Hasbro hates money. Yeah, but I found some neat figures from other lines of, and surprisingly, even picked up these Imagine Next Batman figures. And this is basically like a little kid's toy line. Like, it's weird. I don't know why I picked them up, but they're cool because they're all like Batman's based on specific Batman costumes, and like you think it's like a little kid's line, but this is clearly, look at the art, like that's not for kids. So it's one of those weird things where it's like it's for kids, but it's definitely more for the parents. So you got like basic Batman. That's like the figure looks good. It's got like a cloth cape with it, and they're just pretty neat. And these were. Actually, these were $5 as well. Also cheaper than the tiny Predator there. Makes you think. So once again, definitely impulse purchase. I'll probably keep them though. They are pretty neat. Actually, I even have a thrift Imagine Next Joker figure, which I believe is the same scale. So that's not even all of them. In fact, I think I have some pictures. I think there's pictures on the phone, so Steven from the future, if you would please edit in a picture of these figures from their shelf at Walmart. We can take a look at that real quick. Thank you. Yeah, good. that might be the only picture I might. We've got more stuff, so we got to keep things rolling. So that might be the only picture I add into this video. Next up, weird crossover. It's Masters of the Universe, but also WWF or WWE or WW. Like there's no E or F anymore. I don't know what they're doing. But basically, it's He-Man style toys, but with the WWF wrestler. So this is Macho Man, Randy Savage. Weird, but cool. And they had all four of them here, but I don't know Roman Reigns. I have no attachment to the character, so I didn't pick him up. But I did pick up the other three. So we got Macho Man, we got Faker John Cena, which is funny because he's basically invisible, like the you can't see me gimmick of John Cena. So basically you can't see Faker John Cena, I guess. So it's kind of translucent there. And we got Rey Mysterio. And these are pretty decent figures. These were $20 each, which I think is a pretty decent price compared to, once again, compared to current Transformers prices, which really are, unfortunately, constantly being brought up by me by being not ideal prices. But these guys, pretty decent price. Pretty decent looking figures. Okay, let's, how are we doing on time? We're about 60 minutes in, 16. I'm going to take everything off the table here, and then we'll check out some thrift baggies. Sound good? Cool. Be right back. Alright, we're back, so all the new stuff is off. Well, most of that was new. Some of it was, I guess, fiddled with already, considering those retro portable emulator thingies. You know what's fun is that I've got later today I'm gonna go pick up from the post office an Android box, and apparently you can use this box plus a micro SD card with some software wizardry on there, and that can also be used as a retro emulation station as well, which is pretty neat. Also, I've been curious about Android boxes because, as far as I understand, they're basically not unlike a smartphone, except instead of having a little screen and being portable and being a phone and all that, it's something you just hook up to your TV and it can grab Wi-Fi and be like your smartphone and download all those games that the Google Play Store has, but now you can play them on your TV, which actually sounds pretty neat. So I'm keen to fiddle with that. But for right now, one step at a time, let's take a look at some thrift baggies here. Starting this one off with a $4 Space Jam figure. I've been sitting on these baggies for a few days now, so I'm keen to finally get them going here. Shout out to Apex Legends bro Will, because we were talking about Space Jam being on Space Jam not being on Blu-ray not too long ago. So I thought of him when I saw this. So that's one of the Mon Star Wars characters. Looks like, I was just looking at his hand here. His hand, it's got a little peg there, so maybe he would have come with a basketball originally. But that's a pretty decent figure for $4 or so. Yeah. Okay, next up, here's a baggie of stuff. There's only one guy I really want in here, so $4 again. Some of these were a bit expensive, so that's garbage. Every time someone walks by the apartment, they make noise, so I'm doing little edits along the way. I don't know what that is. These guys, that's garbage. Those definitely won't be kept. This is why I bought the specific baggie. We've got the evil, I guess, repaint of Cheetor Transmetal 1. Now, what's neat about this one is that he does still have his arms. Now, I mentioned that because, just looking it over real quick, they're almost always going to be missing their tail. Unfortunately, that is a separate piece out. You'd remove the tail, then you could hold it like a whip. So don't expect to find the tail of these guys anytime soon. But what's neat about this guy is that I actually have this figure already, but I don't have it with arms. And I thought this would be fun to show off because I have him right here. And I actually did find arms for him, but these aren't his arms. These are a different robot's arms, but they just happen to be the exact same, more or less the exact same size as the original pegs here. So he's got donor arms, and now he's kind of buff. So, you know, we have fun. Even if these things aren't complete, we can always Frankenstein some ideas. Actually, he doesn't count. Here, we'll get those out of the way because they're trash, basically. Next up, $6 baggie. There's some, I don't know, man. Sometimes they're asking a bit much. And I've brought this up before, but they have the most random pricing. Like, you'll see a huge bag full of things for like $2, $3, and you'll get a baggie like this. So it's not even this full, and they'll want $6 for it. I don't know. Weird. All thrift shops are shifty. But anyways, we have a MEGAHAUL here. That's pretty fun. There's something on him though. Oh, I don't know what that is. It's like dust or something. Hopefully it's not, you know, coated with coronavirus or anything. But I guess you never know. That is weird. That's not a keeper. Oh yeah, this one. Look at this. It's a freaking Mortal Kombat G.I. Joe figure. That's cool. Quite excited to find that. What is that on his? Weird. So, and basically that's smoke in, is his arm backwards? There. Now that arm's backwards. There. Where did have it go? Yeah, pretty similar in size, I think. I'll have to take him out of the package and get a closer look at the two of them, but that's a pretty reasonable scale, which is pretty cool. Once the G.I. Joe figures come out, I'm even tempted to grab maybe a few more of the Fortnite guys, just because they are on the same scale. There's a toy line called Super Dinosaur, which I think it's based on maybe a Netflix show or something. I've never actually seen it anywhere online, the show, but the figures themselves are kind of neat because they kind of remind me of Ninja Turtles. Some of the characters do, and I thought it'd be fun to get one or two of those so they could be with my Ninja Turtle figures. We'll see. Okay, we've got someone. I'm guessing this is from one of the X-Men toy lines. Unfortunately, he's missing a bit of his arm, so that's a bit of a deal breaker for me. That's a shame too, because it looks like these rope cord thingies attached to the hands, and this one has nowhere to attach. Too bad. Too bad. Hey, let's check out actual physical games. $4. I think these are all $4, but got there at a good time, and someone had obviously donated their portable collection. This is funny because it's actually a Game Gear game in a Game Gear case, but that's a Shadowgate Classic. Cool. For $4, yep, that's a keeper. Here's another one. Oop. Why are they all in the cases wrong? But anyways, Dynamite Heady on the Game Gear. Someday someone's gonna make an aftermarket Game Gear that plays Game Gear games. I don't know why no one's done that yet, because the Game Gear is notorious for not lasting all that long, unfortunately. We'll get another one. Of course, once again, those devices I was showing off, like the Pocket Go here, I'm sure can run Game Gear games. So if you don't want to go through filthy thrift shops looking for the random games, you can just have one of those devices and just have every game in one on one like SD card, micro SD card. So it makes you think. Like, obviously, I still like collecting these, just, you know, going around, seeing what games I can find, like the Jungle Book here on Game Gear. It is still fun to pick these up. This was $4, which is a good price, but when they're like $20 or something, like, get out of here. I'm never going to play this. I don't think any of my Game Gears even work, so these are just fun things I picked up for, you know, nostalgia collections and all of that. I'll do this one. But, I mean, I'm never going to play them. If you actually want to play the retro games, see, that's when these portable emulation devices come in handy, because this will just play everything. Like, you can literally go on, you know, questionable website and download like every 8-bit and 16-bit ROMs and play, play all your Nintendo games, your Atari Lynx games. Like, I'm never going to find an Atari Lynx cart, but I mean, you can just play them all on this thing. WonderSwan, Game Boy, SNES, GBA, Master System. And there's more. Like, I believe that's the PlayStation emulator. And it wasn't available yet, but I'm sure there's the TurboGrafx emulator going to be added to this specific Rogue software hardware thing. It says powering off, but it's not. Look, you can see my little camera flashing thing. Anyways, we're almost half an hour in. Do we open this one? Guess not. So we got Jungle Book, Dynamite 80. What is that, Shadowgate? I believe that's a port of the NES game, maybe? And another baggie of Tailspin. So these are all $4 each. Pretty good, pretty good. And this one, like, these I found last week, but I think it was yesterday I actually went back and I found another Game Gear game, also for $4. So I'm assuming they all came from the same donation. But this, is one of the Illusion games. That's the Legend of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse for the Game Gear once again. Cool. Always glad to add to the Game Gear collection. He'll fall. There's a little open in there. They'll definitely fall. Last baggie, $4 again. See, this was $4. Wasn't that other one like $6 or something? This one's $4. See, it's pricing there is completely random. So that's garbage. I picked this one up because look at that. Cool. Unfortunately, these aren't very common at all, but I'm keeping an eye out, as mentioned, for G.I. Joe stuff. So this looks to be proper vintage G.I. Joe character. Cool. I definitely do not know the names. At least not yet. So we got this guy as well. So my humble G.I. Joe figure collection is slowly growing. We got that guy, stretchy guy. Get that thing. Scar the Lion. I like Scar. Probably not worth keeping that, but it's not a bad little figure. We'll see. Guess he's alright. And finally, we're gonna wrap this one up. Pokemon cards. Once again, I gotta be in the mood for this sort of thing. This one was $4 for a lot of cards with cases or little, protective sleeves on each of them. So I thought that was pretty good. But these ones, ouch, $6. It's about the seal. Once again, like it's about. I guess there are more cards there, but is it $2 more worth of cards? I don't know. This one has a case. So we'll just open these up real quick. I don't know which ones are rare. I know I think the Charizard card is supposedly worth money, but I'll just take a quick looky-loo through these. Ooh, shiny. I've been playing Pokemon Shield finally. I don't like most of the new Pokemon in that game, but the more you play it, the more... let's go. The more you play, you do start to find older Pokemon as well. So my team is actually mostly older Pokemon. Although I did find there's like a fire centipede guy. I like that guy. He's a cool design. We got more Pokemon cards. Once again, I don't know if anyone knows. If I zip through a card and it's super viable, I need to get it on eBay or whatever. I don't even use eBay, but if any of these have any value, by all means let me know. Otherwise, they'll just end up, like I have a collection of Pokemon cards. I don't play them. I have no interest in the game. I just like the pictures. Hey, it's Pinsir. I like Pinsir. Let's get in there. It's like a dust on them. Hopefully nothing to do with, coronavirus. So, these $6 Pokemon card bundles were definitely, you got to be in the mood. Like clearly I was in the mood at the time, but ugh. Man, this is the longest video yet. I'm trying to speed things up. That's what I get for showing off the virtual emulation devices. Once again, let me know in the comments if you want to see me do a video just on those and on my findings. But I was like, well, I mean, how much does a pack of Pokemon cards cost? You'd probably pay like the same price for maybe 8 of these versus, you know, someone's entire collection. I'm sure. Hey, Corsola. Did you see what they did with the new Corsola? This is also meant to be, you know, like a water type, but it's like a fish, but it's got coral on the back. Because of climate change, a lot of the coral of real life are actually getting bleached because of, you know, global warming and ocean acidification and all that. So the new Corsola is actually a ghost type because it's implying that its coral has died, which is actually pretty spooky, but accurate, I guess. And a bunch of cards. Can you imagine someone's like, oh my god, all those cards, those are like the greatest cards. Someone's got a name on it. Does that matter? Weird. I just got to a mine with these guys in them, or their earlier form. I don't even have one gym badge yet. There's a lot of Pokemon just to get to that first gym. I love these pictures. Well, I don't want to play the game, but just as far as, you know, a collection, a thing to collect, I do enjoy these pictures. That weird ice type that's like an ice cream cone. Some of these Pokemon designs, man, you can definitely tell there was like the end of the day and they had to come up with something they just was like, yeah, whatever, an ice cream cone. Now an ice cream cone is a Pokemon. Sure, why not? Bayleaf. Alrighty. Ooh, alright, well this has been the longest pickup video yet, which means it's going to take hours to render, unfortunately, but there's not going to be a whole lot of work required. There's just maybe one image being added. And anyways, yeah, so hope you enjoyed this latest episode. So we got this stuff and all that other stuff, and once again, I have to figure out where to put it all. But anyways, that's about it for me, so everyone, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.